Hi, my name is Tyler and I love film, and welcome back to another video. I think it's about time that I reviewed Dune Part 2. Though I saw it opening weekend, I haven't made a specific review for this film because I was planning on doing it at the end of the year, but what better time than now? Dune Part 2 is absolutely astounding, magnificent, and beautiful as a film. I'm sure you've heard plenty of good things about this film already, but I was very impressed when I first saw it in theaters. The cinematography in this film is beautiful and serves the story in every facet. Dune Part 2 is really everything you want out of a film, especially a big blockbuster. It's epic, yet intimate, philosophical at times. It has style, scale, and scope. The only main flaw with this film to me is the fact that it is completely payoff and really relies upon the first film. At least its main story beats, but otherwise it is a standalone endeavor, which is admirable. The film treats each of its characters well as we struggle with them and feel for them. Overall, this is just a great film. This film goes in some weirder directions and really starts to develop its identity as a franchise, as well as, though going in weird and unexpected directions that aren't super conventional, also does the conventional moments very well and goes in directions and pays off story beats and has epic moments that you definitely want to see and expect, including Paul's rise to power and face-off against Feyd-Rautha. All the characters and acting in this film is great, and there are some really good villains, particularly, of course, the main antagonist in this film, other than Baron Harkonnen, is Feyd-Rautha. Feyd-Rautha really ticks all the boxes for villains. Being introduced in this film, he is kind of cool and unique as a villain himself. He has a motive and is menacing. A lot of elements of the film, including cinematography and costume designing, serve this character's style and things about the character. We understand and sympathize with him and his motive for wanting power, being a psychopath. We don't really sympathize with that, but we understand that he's a complete psychopath and does want approval from the Baron to some extent. And in place of the final and possibly most important box for a villain to tick is, instead of empathy, the fact that this character is just evil for the sake of being evil. An optional box, as Feyd-Rautha is the personification of everything that Paul Atreides could have been if he had been raised differently. If Paul abused the power of his empire and his powers as a messiah, and if he became completely power hungry for the sake of it and himself. Additionally, this film has further great world building, not as much as the first one, but still world building, and unlike the first one, has good pacing that is fast paced as you get completely immersed in this world because of the great writing, performances, cinematography, and direction by, of course, Denis Villeneuve, who I don't even think we need to talk about too much in this video. Enough said, always been one of my favorite directors, even before directing these films. And the fast pace of this film, though it's longer than the first, really seems to fly by. The film also has a lot of tension throughout, with us racing against the clock and fearing for the lives of many of our characters. Overall, Dune Part 2 is just a great, exciting, and immersive film throughout. I believe it to be a near perfect blockbuster that exemplifies all the elements I think is required in any great blockbuster or film. I'm likely to use this list that you currently see on the screen or add on to it for other films, but I think all the points speak for themselves in relation to Dune Part 2. I give this film a rating I don't like to give out too much for free, a 10 out of 10.